Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, it is. It's Friday, the 29th of May, almost to the end of the month. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought we'd go back around to customer service because we haven't talked about that. And those customers that no matter what you do, you're not going to please them. How do you handle that? So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. If you didn't already know it, yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Friday, the 29th of May of 2026. All right, so if you're in business for any length of time, you're going to get that customer that no matter what you say or do will not change the outcome. And when you do run into those type of people, the urge is to level up to their intensity. And that's probably the worst thing you can do. You know, what I have found in over 20 years in the small engine business is that a lot of times when you got a customer that you can't please, it has nothing to do with you. You just happen to be the outlet of their anger or whatever's going on, right? Could be they're having problems at work or at home. Maybe the wife and him are having issues. Who knows? You know, my tendency when it comes to customers is I take customers and turn them into friends. Okay. And at times, even your best friend, you and your best friend are going to be at odds over something at some point in time. And if you're good enough friends, you'll work through it. If not, then it'll splinter you. So your level of friendship dictates how you handle things. And the way I handle things is I always take the upper ground. I don't raise my voice. If you ask my kids or ask Claude, how do you know Eric is pissed? It's because I lower my voice and, I stop talking. And I stop talking because I know that the best thing I can do is keep my yap shut instead of saying things that I don't really mean out of anger. I've learned this over the 63 years is it's best to just say nothing than to have to go around and apologize for things that you did say that you know are not true. So when you have that customer, you don't need to take a bunch of flack. I'm not saying that you should sit there and take it. But what I am saying is hear them out, let them go, and then move on. I've seen where in my younger years, if something like that happened in the morning, it would ruin my whole day. And one thing that I've learned is when it comes to people, the only person you have any control over is yourself. And if you're trying to carry the weight of the world of other people and what's going on with them, then you're carrying something that wasn't meant for you to carry. I try to explain to people if something is going on with someone else, you need to put that up to God. God is the one that will take care of that. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to change the outcome. The only thing it's going to do is it's either going to piss you off, tire you out, or just discourage you because you don't have the power to change other people. I I can tell you over the years I've known a lot of really nice young ladies that hooked up with guys that had issues before they met, during while they met, and they ended up marrying or living with them thinking that they could change their behavior. And then a few years later they're complaining bitterly about their husband doing X, Y, and Z. Well, let me tell you, I knew your husband 10 years ago and he was doing it then before he met you. Why do you think you can change him? if that's the reason you're still there because you think you can change him, you need to move on because the only one that's going to change him is him. We are a creature of habit, okay? And we all have our own vices. Some like to drink, some like to smoke, what have you. Some like to swear a lot. I don't even know. But the big thing is you want to treat people, other people, like you would hope to be treated. And I don't take things personally. I'm too old to take things personally. So if somebody is having an issue, I'll hear them out and I'll tell them, look, you don't need to be at that high tone of voice. Just let me know what's really going on. And like I say, a lot of times it has nothing to do with the bill or your work or anything else. It's just you're the straw that broke the camel's back. And now you're going to get all the heat and frustration pented up for days over a bunch of other stuff. Take the higher ground. Don't raise your voice because all it's going to do is get into a mouth battle back and forth and make it worse. Hear them out. And when they're done, say, I heard you. Repeat back to them what you heard so that they understand that you heard them and then move on. I'm not asking you to cut the bill to make it less because I've had customers in the past. These are the ones that I get rid of that are well known, have learned that the more they bitch, the cheaper the bill gets. And that doesn't fly with me. I don't, the bill is what it is. And most times I've already taken some time off from it because I don't want to overcharge my customers. So if you're asking me to take a hit on the bill because it's worked everywhere else, I got news for you. It ain't going to happen. And I can tell you right now, you're going to be on my short list of who to get rid of the next time you're having problems with your mower. That's how you run a successful business is you pick and choose who you want for customers. If you're willing to put up with that type of nonsense, you're going to end up with a lot of those people. And they're going to want you to do, once you touch their mower, anything else that breaks on it throughout the whole summer is going to be because of something that you did, and they're going to want you to fix it for 100% free. It's not that they ran into a tree stump on the ground or a rock outcropping that shattered their blade. No, that couldn't have been them. That had to have been the blade and how it was put on. No, it's not. Those are the customers that I get rid of. I stay with the customers that treat me with respect and are cordial. Occasionally, that's fine, but you need to take that upper ground. If you come to the point of where you're thinking all I can do is eat it, and you do eat the bill, and you give the money back to the customer, do not take any more work from that customer. I'm telling you right now, because once you do that, they'll be back. And they'll expect that every time. Good customers expect good service and repairs and a carefree summer. The customers that you don't want will nickel and dime you, will argue over the whole bill, and will sit there and tell everybody about how we overcharged them. I don't need that type of a customer. I would rather be less busy than have to deal with a lot of those customers. So there is a way to fine tune it so that you're not getting a lot of those customers. If you get a name or a reputation that you're willing to handle those customers, you're going to get a lot of them and it's going to destroy your business. I'm telling you right now, they're going to want everything for nothing and you're going to spend more time working on their crap that they keep breaking for nothing because it was your fault and you bought into it because the customer is always right. The customer is not always right in our shop. They aren't. You know, I'll, I've had people come in and you could see the blade was bent and hitting into the ground, and they're saying they had nothing to do with it. That the first time they mowed, and this is what happened. We just had one yesterday that we drove all the way out because I put brand new spindles, a brand new belt, and brand new idler pulleys on their deck. They said first mowing, the belt came off, but the neighbor come over and got it back on for her. And she didn't even almost finish the second time, and the belt came off again. We went over with the trailer, and I told Claude, I said, if we can fix it right here, if there's an issue that you see, let's fix it. And he got underneath it and he couldn't find anything. I said, well, I'm going to try mowing with it. So I mowed her whole front yard, side yard, and then I decided to work for the town mowing roadside where the grass was a foot and a half tall to see if I could put that under load and have that belt come off to see what it was doing. And the belt never slipped, never come off, nothing. It ran flawlessly. And Claude's like, now what do we do? And I said, well, we're going to park it so she sees we were here, and we're not going to take it with us until I can get a hold of her and find out what is the issue. What is she doing that is causing the belt to come off? Is there anything special? So I sent her a message, and she said no, that it she almost got the yard finished and it just come flying off. I even tried with the electric PTO, kick it in, kick it out, thinking that if it's a tensioner, she might slap and come off. Nothing. If you can get good quality customers, stick with them. They will be your best advertisers, and they will come back every year if they're getting quality service, quality price, and a quality summer of less headaches. I've got some customers that will call me throughout the summer. I've got one that's a regular that we serviced their lawnmower last fall. They used it so far for the past month and a half here in the mowing season, and they're having problems with it. Good chances are it's a gas issue. They probably just added some different gas they got, and it's got water in it. So it's not running correctly. We just picked up one yesterday. It's doing like a surging, and that surging a lot of times is it's hitting water and it's gurgling. It could be the air vent on the carburetor as well, but good chances are it's fuel related, and I'll dump the fuel and we'll put fresh in it. But I'm going to start wrapping this up. When you have customers that are pain in the asses, suck it up, buttercup, and then get rid of them. Unless they're really good customers and they are having a bad day. I don't take one example over years of doing their work as a reason to get rid of them. But if they're a chronic complainer that no matter what you do, you're you're not doing it right and it's costing too much money, get rid of them. You don't need them. It's just going to cost your business more, and in the end, you will have less customers, if that makes any sense. Because if you have somebody out there bad mouthing you to everybody, then good chances are people are going to remember that, right? Bad news travels faster than good news. And that's why I always say you're only as good as your last job. On that note, you guys have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be right back at it here at Monday for another episode of the weekday.